श्री महाभारत कथा। श्री महाभारत कथा। महाभारत कथा। कथा है पुरुषार्थ की, ये स्वार्थ की, परमार्थ की, सारथी जिसके बने श्री कृष्ण भारत पार्थ की। शब्द दिग्घोषित हुआ जब सत्य सार्थक सर्वथा। शब्द दिग्घोषित हुआ। यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत, अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य, तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्, परित्राणाय साधूनां, विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां, धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे।
Then the meeting of Draupadi and Satyabhama, Jayadratha and Mirga-Swapna, the dream of the deer. Then Draupadi-Harana, the abduction of Draupadi, followed by Jayadratha Bhimoksana, the release of Jayadratha, and the story of Savitri, illustrating the great merit of conjugal chastity. After this last, the story of Rama, the subsequent parva is called Kundala-Harana, the theft of the earrings. That which comes next is Aranya, or the forest dwelling of Rama. The subsequent parva is Kundala-Harana, followed by Aranya, and then Virata. Then the entry of the Pandavas, and the fulfillment of their promise of living unknown for 1 year. Then comes the destruction of the Kichakas, followed by the attempt to take the kine by the Kauravas. The subsequent parva is the marriage of Abhimanyu with the daughter of Virata. The following parva, of greatest wonder, is Udyoga. After this comes the story of Sanjaya, the arrival of Sanjaya. Then comes Pragagara, the sleeplessness of Dhritarashtra due to anxiety. Then Yanasadi, and finally, the arrival of Krishna. Then the story of Jamadanya and Shodasarajika. Then the arrival of Krishna at the court and Bijulaputra Sasana. Then the muster of troops and the story of Sheta. Then comes the quarrel of the valiant Karna. Then the march to the field of the troops of both sides. The following parvas have been called numbering Arathas and Adarathas. Then comes the arrival of the messenger Uluka, which kindled the wrath of the Pandavas. The subsequent parva that follows is the story of Amba. Then comes the thrilling tale of the installation of Bhishma as commander-in-chief. Then comes the Bhagavad Gita, and then the insular region Jambu, the account about the formation of islands and the death of Bhishma. Then comes the Bhagavad Gita, and then the insular region Jambu, the account about the formation of islands and the death of Bhishma. Then the installation of Drona follows. Then the destruction of the Sansaptakas. Then the death of Abhimanyu, the death of Bhishma. Then the death of Abhimanyu, and then the vow of Arjuna to slay Jayadratha. Then the death of Jayadratha, and then Ghatotkacha's death. Then the death of Jayadratha, and then Ghatotkacha's death. Then comes the story of the death of Drona, filled with surprising incidents. The subsequent parva is the discharge of the weapon called Narayana. Then the tales of Karna and Salya follow. Then the encounter between Narayana and Bhima and Duryodhana with clubs. Then the destruction of the Rakshasa Charvaka, who had assumed the disguise of a Brahmana to deceive Yudhishthira. Then the coronation of the wise Yudhishthira. The following parva is known as Shraddha, describing the funeral rites performed for the slain Kauravas. Then the ascension of Bhishma to heaven. Then the horse sacrifice, which purges all sins away. The following parva must be known as the Anujita, containing words of spiritual philosophy. Asramvasa, Patradarshana, or meeting with the spirits of the deceased sons. And the arrival of Narada. The subsequent parva is called Mausala, filled with terrible and cruel incidents. Then comes Mahaprasthanika and the ascension to heaven. In this last are contained Vishnu Parva, Vishnu's frolics and feats as a child, the destruction of Kansa. The destruction of Kansa. The very wonderful Bhavishya Parva, containing prophecies regarding the future. The plottings of Duryodhana to send the sons of Pandu to Varanavata, the burning of Purokana, and the sleeping woman with her 5 sons in the house of Lak. The meeting of the Pandavas in the dreadful forest with Hidimba, and the slaying of her brother Hidimba by Bhima of great prowess. The birth of Ghatotkacha and the meeting of the Pandavas with Vyasa. The acquisition of Draupadi in the midst of all the Rajas by Arjuna after having successfully pierced the mark. The bringing of Draupadi to the house of her father and her marriage to the Pandavas in obedience to the injunctions of Yudhishthira. The advice administered to Yudhishthira by Vidura in the Mekcha language in relation to the impending danger and the need for careful strategy. The Pandavas stay in disguise in the house of a Brahmana in the city of Akachakra, following the advice of Vyasa. The destruction of the Ashuravaka by Bhima and the amazement of the populace at the sight of his victory. The victory of Arjuna over Angaraparna, a Gandharva, on the banks of the Bhagirathi, and his resulting friendship with Angaraparna. The Pandavas' arrival in Panchala, the city of Drupada, to participate in Draupadi's Swayamvara.
ऋषियों